Well, the weather for the whole of the south of England will continue as it has for the next few weeks. It's going to be hot and moist, with temperatures rising steadily as time goes on. There's a chance of steamy moments as we move into the... sod it. We never wanted to do this. We never wanted to be weathermen and women making innuendos about hot atmospheres and drizzly countries. We didn't want to be child-friendly. We didn't want to bang on about being for over 18s only. We want to talk about our sexy adventures. We want to be lifestylers, leaping from bush to bush as we sail down the rivers of British sex clubs and mountains of crazy experiences. The cheeky purple mamba, the liquid silk pumped liberally into our hand, the rodeo classic brief harness complete with Tantus curve, the Enjoy Pure One stainless steel dildo, the hot octopus digit, the ever so short messages on Fab Swingers, the sexy friends on Twitter, and the mighty vanilla alternative. With my best girlie by my side, we'd swing, swing, swing.
Get in the gym or to your car. With our advice, you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes. And talk about our sexy dates. It's getting hard for this to rhyme. Just as well, 'cause it's bed hopping time.
Hello and welcome to the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name is Mr. H.
I'm Mrs. H.
Thank you for joining us today. We are introducing a brand new concept. Well, it might not be a brand new concept, but it's brand new to us.
I think it exists in the annals of history.
In the annals of history.
Annals of history.
Join us for Annals of History next week.
Actually, I think that's way better. You should have gone with that.
Really, the Annals of History. Watch as Mrs. H describes all the different annals that have occurred through history. Next week, it'll be Freddie Mercury, following the... Yeah.
What? What is Freddie Mercury in the annal of history?
Well, it was the first name that came into mind when I thought about anal.
What? You seriously went there?
Yeah.
You seriously decide that Freddie Mercury is synonymous with an anal history?
Yeah. That's what killed him, probably.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm sorry, Freddie
I think that he's got to you.
So
Jesus.
anyways, this is the very first edition of the Bed Hoppers Flip You Off. And that...
Without Freddie Mercury.
High concept, low ball name. The concept is that we're going to interview someone or some people, and midway through, there may not be a klaxon, I don't know, we'll see what we can add in later on.
Klaxons.
They are going to interview us.
Yes.
So we've got a bunch of random questions that we've assembled 3.5 minutes before this interview. And they've got a load of questions, I believe more than 50 or something, that they've been scrolling down for the last couple of days.
The good lady that we're interviewing shortly has got at least 40 questions.
At least 40
At least 40,
questions.
and I believe she's trying to narrow them down to 10.
Well, this should be an interesting ride. So first off, we're going to interview them and see how this goes.
Yes.
And then they're going to flip us.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And are any of these questions anal related?
Flip it real good.
Or is this
Exactly.
just you and your anal train of thought?
I'm going to call it the H flip. But I don't know. I don't know
anal
if there's any
flip? Is that a thing?
anal-related questions.
Is
There
that
may
something
be.
that exists on Urban Dictionary?
I'm sure I can work something in there. I'm sure I can thumb an anal question in at some point. Anyways, thank you for joining us. Lovely, lovely people. It is Max and Mabel. Hello.
Hey guys! Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us for the very first, the inaugural, if you like,
It will go down in the annals of time.
in the annals of time.
Excellent.
Our first question is hopefully a simple one. Tell us about yourselves. Who are you? What do you do?
We are Max and Mabel. We are swingers, if that's what you want to call us, but more than we're just really open-minded, easygoing, and really like to have a good time.
And if you were to describe yourselves...
You're not allowed to say hot because everything's hot.
Yeah.
Apart from currently, I'm actually
Sweating.
melting. I would describe,
Tattooed.
yeah, Max is like a Viking, so like I've forced him to get his nose pierced and his ear, and
Actual pin me down.
now he's like going to get a bobble and everything and a beard. So
I've always got a beard.
well, the long beard, and yeah, I've got the odd tattoo, I'd say.
Would you say that your tattoos are odd?
No, just the odd one, you know,
Lies.
one limb.
Mrs. H, you have some questions.
Do you know what? I have got some questions.
Okay.
Mine are very sensible.
Oh, good.
No, they're not. I'm lying. And I'm going to lead straight into this question because something that Mabel just said intrigued me about the beard bubble.
All right.
So my question is, has Max always looked like a sexy Viking?
Yes, but I've pushed it further.
You've improved on
it. I've gone with it, and we've made improvements. Even had a bobble in his hair.
Harsh.
No, like your beard has improved. Don't you say it hasn't?
I did look slightly homeless.
Now it's got products.
So you've Vikinged him up like a glow-up Viking.
Yeah, the foundations were already there.
A strong foundation that you've built upon. So I'm interested. How long have you been together?
So nearly 3 years.
Yeah, nearly 3.
3. How did you meet?
Tinder.
Yeah.
Tinder.
Back, Tinder for a while.
Tinder Max.
Tinder Max. And when you met on Tinder, and presumably you had your first date, what was your first thought about each other?
Oh, well, I sat in the wrong side of the bar for a good hour with no phone signal. And the last message I sent to her was saying I was going to go home. But the barman knew that I was waiting for it and actually just watched me squirm for an hour before deciding to tell me and sat the other side for an hour waiting for me.
And then what did you do?
What was that?
We came back and...
Oh, yeah, I came back and hijacked the dog.
Who was hijacking the current interview.
So I came home and actually completely ignored Mabel and just played with the dog for like 5 hours till 2 a.m. and then went home.
Oh, true story. And he keeps telling me that it was the dog that sealed the deal.
It was dog at first sight.
It was definitely dog at first sight.
Oh, that dog is so cute.
So I'm curious. So you met on Tinder a few years ago. How the hell did you get into the lifestyle?
We're just weird.
We're odd people.
We just really like weird things, and conversations lead to other things. And we started watching programs about sex clubs in Europe, and we were like, oh, wouldn't that be so cool? And then
so you sort of like try and gauge each other's interest almost.
Yeah.
You say the odd question thinking, I wonder what else you could say it this way.
So we did quite a bit of research and then found out, obviously we'd heard the term swinger, but you always refer to it as something bad. So we'd done a bit more research, and that's how we came across you guys, because I was looking on Spotify for swinging and lifestyle podcasts. So that's how we stumbled across you guys, and we watched the TV program. But I mean, beyond that, we've probably watched all the Louis Theroux and everything that's weird. Like, people come to me at work and they're like, did you see that program about last night? Because they know that if it was weird, I would have watched it. So I guess it just came from that. And we're just...
Well, we're so open though.
Up for a laugh.
So we'll just chat about stuff and it just goes from there, doesn't it? If you actually start realising you like the same thing.
So some open-minded conversations have kind of led you down.
Oh, absolutely. From the start.
Yeah.
We're both a little bit strange, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not many people. We talk to people and they're like, what?
We're quite open about it.
That leads into my next question then, which is, how would you describe your play style? Now you've defined kind of what you are and where you've been. How would you define your play style as a couple?
We do only play as a couple, and we're always together, but not necessarily together. So same room.
Yes.
We've only done same room, should we say? And we've been to clubs and things with groups of people, but we've always been together. But we don't necessarily play with each other.
It's not a hard and fast rule. It's just what we just tend to do.
Yeah.
Other than that,
we're just quite chilled out, really.
Yeah, we're kind of quite open to things, if that makes sense. I mean, we're not saying no to anything, really.
No, well, apart from some really strange requests on Fab. But...
Yeah, but other than that.
So did you agree that, in advance of sort of starting out, did you have, that conversation?
Yeah, we had a sit-down conversation about what we both wanted or didn't want to happen.
And about boundaries as well.
Boundaries and what we were okay with and what we weren't okay with. We thought
But then, do you not remember when we first started talking, we were only going to do soft swap? Yeah, and then we realised how ridiculous it was.
And it just went, just word was almost sort of all in all.
We went from soft swap to full on DP in the same night on the first move.
Yeah,
it moved fast.
It went horribly, horribly wrong. But yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, in a good way. It just I wasn't expecting it at all. It was a.
Oh yeah, it was fine. It was just a bit crazy, a bit too much alcohol was definitely
we didn't
consumed.
Quite expect it to go that way the very first time.
I was going to say, you don't rush into DP, surely.
Well, I had said no the multiple times I've been asked before, and then apparently it was fine.
Well, Drunky was all for it. We joke about
it is a thing, I'm afraid.
She gets to a point and it's just a different person, and you have to kind of rein her in sometimes.
She's really fun, though.
Oh, she's hilarious.
She's got loads of crazy ideas.
All right. So
and then dies for 2 days afterwards.
So Drunken Mabel has lots of crazy ideas.
She's stupid.
Led to DP on your first play encounter. Brilliant.
Yes. Pretty much.
So what's your biggest turn-off?
Hygiene is absolutely 100% like
so off-putting from you mean it just can completely turn you off completely.
Like
it's not even something you can sort of grin and
no,
and get
that's it. Like no.
Well, I'm going to go in with a slightly different one. What is your favourite movie?
Man of Twilight.
Oh my god.
There's no DP in Twilight.
Now, we saw a Twilight in the old cinema, in the theatre. And so it was Mrs. H and I sat in the middle of a sea of sort of tweens, and I
Jacob.
sort of said, I think it was the second or third one, and I sort of said rather loudly to her midway through the screen, I hate talking in films, but I had to do it. I said, why do the Wolfpack have Pizza Express logos on their arms? And a sea of tweens turned to look at me like a bunch of raptors. I thought I was going to get lynched.
I wanted to just die on the spot. I'm like, oh, good grief.
You're going to get a steak put in your hat for that.
So you were not Team Jacob then?
Which one was Jacob?
Oh, for goodness sake.
Is he shovel face?
I got forced to watch it recently and it was
forced. No.
No, I do that thing. If you watch a film, I have to see them all then. Do you know what I mean? So I had to carry on watching them. But they were off on so many questions.
I couldn't get over how the werewolves developed a human voice in the third film, and I was like, it's fine, just go with it.
It doesn't matter.
But he wasn't sparkly makeup for the next 3 weeks after that.
Twinkly skin.
Yeah, I will be honest, the twinkly skin bit was a bit odd. But
and yours, good sir, your favourite movie?
Well, it's hard to choose, if I'm honest. But
he's a film buff.
I'd go. I still like Days of Thunder. If you've ever seen it with Tom Cruise back in there.
Yes, I've seen that.
But my all-time favourite's trilogy. It's Back to the Future trilogy. I absolutely love Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Love it. I really want a tattoo of the flux capacitor, but I still can't tell if it's just going to look absolutely horrendous or cool. I still can't decide.
You could go with it and like do a whole get Pluto.
Yeah, but if you actually Google them, they don't look great when they've been done.
It's like an interesting sort of like upside down Y shape, isn't it? Basically.
Yeah, well, I consider the Mr. Fusion logo, which was obviously when they converted it to run on. I'm sounding really geeky now.
Yeah, but no, I'm with you on this one because I really want a Labyrinth sleeve because Labyrinth is my favourite movie. But I'm also aware that it's going to look really shit if the worm is on there and it's not done well.
It'll look horrendous if it comes back.
Exactly, and just because I like Labyrinth.
That would be amazing. That would be so cool.
Not the worm. Never the worm. Not in a tattoo.
Hello. No. Do you want a cup of tea?
Yeah. So I need to pick that wisely, and also talk Mr. H into let me have one. So.
Oh, like that is it.
You'd have to get the bottom eternal stench tattooed on somehow.
I don't even know where to begin with.
I wonder where we're going to put that.
Oh my god!
You said that, not me.
So what I want to know is, have you had any meets that have gone wrong? Any ones that you've noped your way out of? What happened and how did you deal with it?
That's a really boring answer, isn't it?
It really is.
You're right. It is very boring.
Although there's a little the pre-first meet. No, hang on, we'll come to that one. The pre-first meet, we decided to go for a dog walk, but then they didn't bring their dog, so only we turned up with our dog. But because it was going to be nighttime,
it then changed last minute.
Yeah, we were going to meet on the fields because we're like
industrial estate.
Wait, we were going to meet on the fields, and then it was dark, and I was like, oh my god, we're totally going to get murdered on the field in the dark. I was like, we can't do that. So we're like, should we go somewhere that's like got lights? So we met on like an industrial estate, which is basically a truck stop, and just walked our dog because they didn't have a dog or with them, and walked around the industrial estate and went to KFC and came home.
I was like, this is so bizarre. You got that bit where you're like, I just want to go home now.
You got sick before,
Did they take it in turns to walk your dog then, or?
No, not the princess. We
can't let anybody else walk.
Oh, I suppose that it does count then as a bit of a weird meet.
But then what? Oh yeah, and then we did a Zoom call with one couple who were just so weird.
So
like
bizarre.
they wanted to get us on to Kick, and we'd not ever been on Kick before. So we downloaded it and thought, this is easier than Fab, but it's a bit of a pain. So we got chatting, and the guy of the couple was all the chat, like constant. Flirty, like really, really chatty, asking loads of questions. She was she worked quite a lot, didn't she? I think he must have worked from home. So it was always him chatting anyway. And then she was like, oh, should we have a Zoom call? And we were like, oh, yeah, go on then. And literally he sat there like silent.
For 40 minutes.
And she just did all the talking. And it was just the weirdest thing ever.
Like, and she barely messaged, barely got involved in anything. But then it was just, it was so weird.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. For 40 minutes, he sat in silence. I was convinced he wasn't there to begin with.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. But no, like, physically, like, meat-wise, no.
I think we're quite picky, though, if I'm honest.
Quite picky.
Well, no, like, not that overly picky. I mean, it's like we talk a lot before the first, like, physical meet, if that makes sense.
We don't like a one-night stand.
Yeah, so it's like, you generally, like, we end up more of, like, friends rather than just people, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
completely.
we go down that route a lot.
Yeah.
So the time you meet them, you already feel like you know them anyway when you first.
You've got stuff to talk about.
Yeah, you've got other stuff for previous conversations just still ongoing, so it makes it really simple and easy.
That's good.
Like with the Discord.
Yeah.
Yes.
Promotion. Enjoying it.
Yeah.
I like the promotion aspect there. So I'm going to change tack now with a different question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I still think like the ability to stop time. If you ever watched a program where a kid called Bernard's Watch, I wanted that watch.
You want Bernard's Watch.
That was epic. If you could stop time, it would be amazing.
So you could just go and do stuff. And
yeah, you can carry on, move around within time, but stop time.
There was an American program called Swinging on a Star, I think, where if she touched her fingers together, time would stop.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
I do that just to do like stupid stuff to people, and
I mean, you could just be mischievous as anything. Couldn't you?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't use any power for good.
People up and everything.
Move stuff while
I can move stuff while I'm invisible.
Yeah,
I'll be invisible and you can stop time, and we can work together as a team.
But I'd have to like manually move stuff. If I could only have one power and I'd chosen the stopping time thing, and then I wanted to be mischievous, I'd have to like lift things with my own hands.
Physically do it. So
yeah,
like like ball egg, isn't it?
There's also a graphic novel, the name of which eludes me. I think it has sex in the title, where they stop time by having sex.
Oh wait, that rings a bell.
Yeah, it's very good, but I can't.
Is it film?
No, it's a comic or graphic novel. Very good.
Adult comic.
Oh, okay.
Slightly more adult, yeah. It's probably not what you'd give little Johnny in the park.
Hang on, that sounds really dodgy. You just go up to kids called Johnny in the park and give them sex comics. Here you go. Go read this. Don't tell your mum though.
Exactly.
Comic.
So if anyone gets approached by Mr. H in the park, run away.
Run away.
Comics.
So you've been going for sort of in the lifestyle for a little bit. What are your top tips? What's your one top tip each for other swingers or people that are starting out? And it cannot be communication, because every fucker in the world says communication.
That's
communication.
a given.
Yeah, exactly. But they all say it.
I would say open mind.
So we're going to go with honesty. You need it.
Oh, honesty. Yeah. Okay. A combination. Honesty and open mindedness. Because we sort of, when we first started thinking about it, we were very much like, oh, well, we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that. And then when it comes to it, you realise it's like, we just got the complete wrong impression. Like, it's
what
separate.
we thought we wanted was not what we wanted.
Our relationship is different. So it just the way that we kind of went into it really open-minded. And I think that's really worked out for the better, because we didn't necessarily have any goals or anything like that. We just kind of thought, oh, this is fun. We like to have a laugh
together.
Yeah, just the thing, like, because obviously, like, we've been in relationships before, so we've not had much shared experience that stuff like this. So like, this is like our thing. So it's really nice that it's something that we just do together.
But yeah, you just got to be honest about what you want from it, haven't you?
Good advice.
I think it can be tricky though to figure out what you want, and what you want often changes.
I think sometimes in your head you know what you want. You don't always want to voice it. You know what I mean? It's like you do know what you want to try something, or you're interested in something, but sometimes you think, I'll hold that back a bit. Whereas you can do that. It eats away at you. To be honest about what you both want.
No, that's fair. Mrs. H, do you have one more question?
And it's, what's your favourite sex toy?
Veronica. Bush.
Veronica.
It's what is it called? It's like a wand, but it's made by Bush. I'm sure it's just called a wand or a wand too. It's basically a wand.
Yeah.
But then we've got this other one that we call Vera Bush. And that one's quite small, and it's like a sucker thing.
Yeah, little sucker ones, you know, like which.
But it's not very versatile, so we've.
Or practical, or you've got like stay very, very still.
You just have to not move, and yeah. So Veronica.
That's the most baffling answer. Okay. A wand called Veronica.
In short, a wand and a clitoris sucker.
Right. Okay.
But it's not just any wand.
It's Veronica.
It's called Majesty.
Our final question before you get to flip this over with us. What's on the horizon? What are you looking forward to?
So we've got Festival of Fun, the Love Island event at VA. So we're going to go down there in the camper van. So that'll be really fun. That's a weekend. And then, of course, it's your guys' event in September. So we're going to go down to London for the weekend.
Summer holidays are always tough. Meets, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we haven't really got any meets planned, have we? Other than life just gets in the way. We tend to be like event people at the moment rather than just.
We're taking really enjoying the events because you get to see so many people in such a short space of time. It's really nice, and also you can sometimes get a connection better in person than you can over Discord or on Bab or that kind of thing. So I think it's quite good, the events. You think it's throwing yourself in the deep end, but it's quite good, I find.
We're saying, like, we feel like we found our people, like we found our crowd.
I think the great thing about events is that you can meet people, but you don't necessarily have to do anything with anybody. It's great for making that initial connection, and then then you can hook up with them at another time sometimes.
Following on from that,
yeah, that's what I found is really handy. Quite often in these big playing spaces, I'm a bit sort of like, it's a bit overwhelming, but it's really nice getting to know people and then following that up. We really liked you folks. Can we meet on a separate date or something? And that's where I found those sort of things to be really, really cool.
And it's good to always have like something to look forward to as well. So like, we chat with quite a few people from the Discord, and it's like, like we talk about the event, and it just gives you that sort of next thing and that next meet.
It's almost like a daily thing, though, isn't it? It gives you like a little community that you're almost part of. So it's something working toward constantly, giving you constantly something to talk about and work toward, and it's something that just you and me know about. So it's like
it's our little secret
thing.
And then we have to think of like a decoy and where we're going and what we're doing. And
it's nice getting dressed up for things, and it's nice for that kind of thing to give you something to focus upon, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. I'm trying to buy him sparkly shoes for
I'm sure Miss Rachel will endorse that. I was going to say it's
I'm sure he will.
The Discord for me has been really interesting because it's it's almost like an evolution of what I think sites like Fab are trying to be, but never manages to get there because you have to just wade through all the stuff that gets in the way of making good connections. And when you get onto a little Discord chat community, like you say, you're suddenly finding that that's your go-to every day because you've met the people that you want to talk to all the time, and you don't need things like the sites like Fab because you don't need it anymore.
The fantastic thing about the Discord, it's not always like the sexy aspect.
No, it's just nice chat, isn't it?
Ordinary chat and knowing where people have been on holiday, and it's like another little like extra community almost. You know what I mean? And like we said, like we found friends with that we never even have connected with normally. I mean, like all over the country, we've now got like connections with people, and whenever you go anywhere, there's always someone you know, and you can meet up for a drink or a chat and stuff, and that's really nice.
Yeah, I think we had a 20-minute ramble today just about ice cream when I dipped into it earlier. I was like, what on earth have I missed?
Hey, don't put an ice pop up your vagina.
We did learn this today.
We did learn that.
Yeah, absolutely. Not through experience, but through reading an article.
Yeah. or in your rectum, actually, while we're talking about this.
Also excellent advice.
Again, also a different article. Just want to point that out there. No one's been experimenting.
Yeah.
Or if they have, they wouldn't dare post
Back to Mr. H's annals of time. We've come full circle.
Full circle. Well, talking of full circle, now it's time for you to sort of question us. So I'm sure at some point I'll put some magical thing about flipping us off in the middle of this bit that I'll insert later.
I really want you to play the bird song from Family Guy.
The surfing bird.
Yeah. I don't know why. It just reminds me of flipping the bird.
Okay, I'm sure I've got money for the rights to that.
Oh, you'll get sued for that.
Podcast so that costs nothing.
Do you want me to just sing it for you?
No. We could do an off-brand version. Nobody's heard about the pigeon.
Wait, no, it reminds me of Funky Pigeon. Oh, God.
Like, how many bird-related songs do you know?
Well, I don't even like birds.
Feed the birds.
Feed the birds?
Oh, I do like that song, actually. I don't like birds. You know this.
You do like some birds?
No, I don't. I like owls. That's it.
Are they not birds?
Maybe.
Okay, there we go. Right, folks, are you ready to quiz us? So Max has had to go, for he has...
He got bored of the conversation.
Yeah, he got so bored.
All the constant questions
he couldn't
about
be bothered.
Vikings.
He fell asleep during this whole thing. Now, unfortunately, he had something that he had to go and do, so we are left with the delightful Mabel. So this is going to turn into some sort of sexy chat.
Finally, we get it all to ourselves.
And some sort of...
I played the long game.
You did.
Yeah, he wrote it out. He's actually gone because he's just utterly disgusted in my complete filth. No, I'm only joking. Are you ready?
We are.
I was born ready.
It's true, he was.
Excellent. So I'm going to start with, if you were in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, name 3 people you'd want on your team.
Shall I answer for you? You choose you, wouldn't you?
Or 3 clones of myself.
You can't do that.
He takes some photos of himself and then take those with him.
That's against the rules.
Oh, so obviously I'd take you with me because that's the right thing for me to answer.
And I wouldn't be dead from the zombies.
I would probably take Tiff from Sapphic Swingers with me.
Oh, she'd be good in a zombie
because she'd be really good in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Played a lot of Fallout as well.
And we've discussed this with her.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to take a dog with you? Got to be a person.
Yeah, tie knives
I
to
don't
Yoko's
think the odds
feet.
are very good, are they, to be fair?
No. I would...
Especially our dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tiny dogs aren't great
Imagine if they were
weapons.
zombies.
They're angry, but their power ratio isn't
The zombie
great.
chihuahua Jack
Do you know
Russell.
what?
We're zombies.
I'd probably take my sister.
Oh, she'd be good.
She'd be a good... She's kind of Viking like herself.
Quite terrifying.
Quite
isn't she?
terrifying. I think she
Yeah.
would kick some ass. So, yeah.
That's good, yeah.
Who would you take?
Oh, no. Can I not take the same people?
If you want to.
Well, I'd definitely take you.
Oh, thank you.
Because you'd probably just, charm your way out of it, flirt with them or something.
Flirt with a zombie.
You'd have a
Fall in love with
zombie
them.
harem.
A zombie harem. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be a bit weird, but yeah. Oh, I know who I'd take.
Go on then.
I would take Angela from By the By.
Oh, great choice.
That is a solid choice,
Yeah.
isn't it? She'd be fucking terrifying.
She's tiny but psychotic.
Is she?
Yeah, she would bite her way through it.
That's probably not the best approach to a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, but she'd be brilliant.
Yeah, but biting probably wouldn't be the thing.
She'd be awesome at it.
Okay, all right,
Yeah, I'm
cool.
taking
That's
her.
good. That's a good shout.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's Nick Clipbang if you want someone that's good at biting.
Oh my God. Do you know what? Yes, I'm going to take Clipbang as well.
I think
Yeah.
the
I just
important
throw
thing
at them.
is that you
She
don't want
would
to...
be.
She'd have sex
Mega.
with them and then bite them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you
Yeah.
don't want her biting them. But the important thing would be that she's not a zombie, so she cannot bite you. Because
Correct.
she's got the biting skill. So if she's a zombo, she's going to be very difficult to defeat.
She won't be a zombie though.
Oh, badass. We'll
That's-
take her anyway.
Yeah, that's
We'll
what I
take
mean.
her.
Cool.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm going to
Yeah.
take Angela and Clipbang.
Okay.
Yes.
There we
Next.
go.
Good.
Yeah.
What was the last flirty text you sent and to who?
Oh.
It's Mr. H has probably sent about 50,000 just in the last
okay.
The
hour.
last one. Yeah, but it's the last one.
Oh, God. Oh.
I think it was to the XXX files.
Yeah,
Cool,
who
Sue,
are coming to our event in
Who are
September.
coming to our event.
So you will meet them.
And I think
Where's the suit?
Yes.
she she had sent a gift that said, "What do you want?" And I said something along the lines of, "Ooh, you know," with an innocent face and a wink.
That's very tenuous.
But that was the last one I got. But then she replied with some emojis.
Oh, the aubergine.
There's an aubergine and a peach.
I would say that's actually quite flirty.
And a peach, yeah. So I'm going to assume that text was flirty because I know that those emojis are supposed to be a little bit naughty.
Yeah.
I don't really send sexy messages.
No.
I really don't. I'm really shit.
Sometimes you do, but it's rare. So it probably would be weeks ago.
Oh God, it maybe even longer. I just don't send flirty
It would
messages.
probably be actually.
You tell me. You tell them.
It would be.
I don't know.
It would be to me probably a week ago when you sent me a picture of your boobs.
Does that count?
Yeah, that's pretty flirty.
That's quite flirty. I think
that'll count. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah.
There was a lot of phone scrolling going on there.
Yeah, a default. Yeah, it was you.
Yeah.
What is the most spontaneous thing that you've done?
Oh, we much like yourselves, we did a spontaneous DP.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was very spontaneous.
A spontaneous DVP followed by a spontaneous DP.
Excellent.
That was quite a spontaneous day.
I think the 13 bottles of Prosecco had something to do with the spontaneity.
I think the 4 bottles of rum definitely led me to DP.
It's funny how alcohol really gets the spontaneity going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like spontaneity. Often it's a strange one for me because regular normal me likes to plan quite a lot and know the confines of what's happening. But then drunk me likes to be as spontaneous and as random as possible. Especially when I get excited about something that's going on. Not in a sort of sexual way necessarily, but in a kind of, I'm really happy to be on an adventure and be doing something different. So yeah. I quite like that sort of, hey, let's go and do something fun.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But
I tend to do what I do and then just say to Max, oh, we're going to, X, Y, and Z. It's like, when is it?
See, I can't do events like that because often I'm not the one that plans and I have no idea as to, dates and what's booked in. So I love sort of talking to people and getting that really flirty atmosphere and going, hey, why don't we all do this? Let's have an adventure. And they'll be like, let's go next weekend. And I'll be like, yay, let me just check with Mrs. H because I have no idea whether we're free or not.
Your spontaneity gets you into trouble.
It does occasionally.
Because it doesn't fit in with my organised chaos.
Yeah, occasionally I do double book and have to backtrack, which is probably not so good. What about you, dear?
I think the DP day was an excellent example of wild spontaneity.
We've all been to spontaneous DP town.
We certainly have. I don't think anything else has come close in that. If you're looking at pure, oh my God, off the cuff, let's do this. Isn't that a crazy idea?
It's interesting in a sexy kind of way because you're obviously, we've talked about it on the show, you're going through menopause. And one of the things that you've done quite recently is go back on the testosterone, which has made her much more spontaneously. I can't even say it. Spontaneous with her advances. So it's kind of gone from just chilled and normal to I need a rape alarm sort of most of the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's really ramped up.
So Yoko's getting defensive. She's heard my anguish.
It's ramped up my ability to be spontaneous because, like I've said before, you don't know that libido is gone until it's gone.
Yeah.
And someone points it out to you because you're not thinking about it. It doesn't occur to you that it's lacking in the weirdest way. And it takes Mr. H to say, where's the love gone? I'm like, I
just keep playing Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, you're right. It has gone.
Nice.
So I made a conscious decision to put testosterone back into my life because it did help a lot. Yeah. And that's really lifted things, even with the drag factor of the terrible hot weather. It's really helped.
Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, but it's helped a lot. So
that's really good.
Yeah,
that you get relief.
I'm not sure how long I'll tolerate it for, but it's certainly given me a lift, and it's definitely made me more spontaneous.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Next question.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
I think it's people who don't read your profile.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't take a lot. And I think one of the most one of the best things you can do when you're interacting with somebody else is to read their profile, look at the pictures, and draw out stuff about that profile when you message somebody. Oh, I really like the fact that you're rock climbing. That's cool. I did that when I was younger. Where do you rock climb? At a very basic level. Not that's ever true of me. I don't think I've rock climbed, or certainly haven't in recent years. But it's that recognizing that something is interesting. They've got a picture that reflects it, or they've mentioned it in their profile and referencing. That's really cool. That shows that people have read it, they've paid attention, and they're engaged with your passions. But when someone just writes to you and go, hey, or like, oh, we just want to fuck. What do you want to do tomorrow night? And I'm like, this is nuts. They've read our profile. They know that's not going to be of interest to us, or that's not going to be something that sits with us. So it just drives me mental, just really bad. That and poorly written messages, poor grammar and spelling drive me nuts.
Grammar. Ugh.
That is probably one of my biggest pet peeves, but you've used it, so I shall think of different.
In your face, wife.
I think one of my biggest annoyances is maybe people assuming they know what you would like and maybe not checking in with you to see if this is something that you want to experience with them.
Finger
So
bang.
like a
Finger bang.
Mrs. H loves a finger bang.
I really don't.
Chuck it in, move it around. Can't you hear from those marvellous sounds? Hey man, Mrs. H loves a finger bang.
Don't like a finger bang. That's not true. I don't mind a finger bang with the right person and the right approach. What I don't like is unsolicited finger banging without checking that that's something I want to encounter.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask. Like,
I don't think that's unreasonable.
How would you feel if I did this? Is this working for you? Does that feel nice? No, fuck off. I don't like it. But
I don't like that.
It's just a simple question, or just
Next time someone does that, just stick your finger right up their bum and see how
Do
they
you like
react.
it?
Yeah.
With your nails, they won't like it, I can assure you.
Yeah, so just not asking if people can do a bit of consent is sexy to me.
Yeah, definitely. Where is your favourite place to be kissed?
You mean location or on the body?
Yes, on your body.
Right in the middle of Sainsbury's.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I mean it right now.
Unless the aircon's on.
In the cold
by
aisle
the
of Sainsbury's,
refrigerated
right by the
section.
frozen
Yeah,
foods.
if the aircon's on, I'm there.
Kiss me by the magnums.
Yeah.
I just like a kiss on the lips. I absolutely love kissing people.
You said you like your penis being kissed.
I do.
Is this a lie?
But I think if someone just went
Not
straight...
socially acceptable.
Yeah.
It's not in Sainsbury's, no.
Not on the freezer aisle.
Exactly. I think it's one of those things where, yes, it's lovely if someone is kissing my cock. It's wonderful and great, etc., etc., etc. One assumes that they're good at it. But I think actually when you kiss somebody normally and that connection is there and it works, because not everyone's sort of your style or preferred technique or whatever. When it works, it's fantastic. And that's probably, I think, the sexiest I feel most of the time in the whole lifestyle is that when you've got that connection with somebody and you're just making out and it's like, wow, this is really cool.
Mm.
And then I think that sometimes if someone, you kiss them and it's not that, then you can almost tell that the rest of the experience isn't going to be so cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I'm all for kissing on the lips.
Yeah, kissing on the lips is lovely.
Yeah,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think there's a better place that I like.
A better place that you like.
Well, no, kiss on the lips is pretty much up there with one of my favourite things.
Although that said, if there is a lady that you like, getting you away from going down on them and stopping you. If we're sharing that lady,
with that.
I'm like, there's like a crowbar that I need to get out just
I
to
don't
prise
dive
her off.
straight in for Mary and be like, "Hey, can I kiss you there?"
No. But you're like, you're like a powered up Pac-Man down there. No.
Again, I ask.
I know. I'm not saying that you don't ask. I'm just saying that you do particularly enjoy doing that. And it's often one of those things. I'm like, I've been here for 7 hours.
Wow.
I should be able to interact with that lady at some point. Come on, crowbar. Long. There may be some
I
exaggeration.
believe the question was, where do I like to be kissed?
Yeah. Okay.
And you've turned it around to where I like to kiss people.
Oh, there we go.
I do enjoy being kissed on the lips. That is very sexy. Although it's also really sexy to be kissed
in the back of a micro.
Oh, fuck's sake. It's just, this is what I have to live with. On the side of my neck, it's really nice.
Which side, left or right?
Both are equally amazing.
Okay.
Maybe the left side,
Okay.
because that's closer to you now. Yeah, but generally the face area.
Face area.
Face area.
Yeah.
Neck and above. So the next question is, which animated movie character would you hook up with if they were real?
Oh gosh, that's a good question, isn't it?
I think I'm already documented as giving this answer.
Have you?
Yeah. So it's a sad one. I really like the rabbit from Zootropolis.
Oh my god, yes he does.
Oh yeah, you have mentioned that before.
And the first time we met Angela and Bradford from By the By, she dressed up as that rabbit.
Yes, you are correct. Yes, you really do like.
I do like that rabbit.
That rabbit, don't you?
There's something I don't know what it is.
All right, cool. That's an interesting one.
I know who you'd hook up with.
Wow, who? I want to hear your answer.
Gaston.
100%. You'd be all over that shit.
What? As in Gaston from Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
I'm more likely to hook up with the Beast.
When he's the Beast?
Yes, when he's the Beast.
Yeah.
Not as the man.
No, that's what I mean. But okay, fine.
The
Beast, yeah, like totally. However, that is not my answer. See, I don't watch many or read many animated things, not in the same way that Mr. H does. However, I will say that in Howl's Moving Castle, I'm quite drawn to Howl.
Because he's got like a Bowie-esque.
He's got a Bowie-esque.
And he's voiced by Christian Bale.
Persona about him, and I just like his character. It's quite weird and sexy, and there's something about it that I can kind of like. Oh yeah, I'm quite drawn to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, did you?
Yeah, I did. You've mentioned that
Lies.
Before. It's fine.
Bloody Gaston.
It can't be Gaston.
Egomaniac.
Genuinely.
No, it's not. I really don't like Gaston with his one-arm push-ups and ponds around with his chest out like a puffed-up owl. No. Move on to the next question. I'm getting angry.
Where's the craziest place you guys have ever had sex?
Airplane, maybe?
We've not had sex on an airplane.
We've played with each other on an airplane.
That's different. We haven't had sex on an airplane.
Okay. This is going down to a presidential question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not there, I mean, we've had sex outside. Desire was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I think in terms of just out in the open and while people are just chatting away around you.
Yeah, that is quite liberating.
Mm.
Not crazy, but quite interesting. And it takes a bit to get your head round in a way.
Your head does.
Being watched and like, yeah.
Always low in the tone.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's not like we've had sex on a bus or anything.
On a bus? I don't think we've had sex on a bus. We've certainly played with each other on an airplane, and I think we've done a few outdoorsy things. But generally, I think we quite like the creature comforts. So, like hotels and that sort of stuff tends to be more of our jam.
I'm all about the
aircon now. That's all you're about now.
The nicer
aircon, yeah, that's it. Gold.
That's the bit that counts.
Definitely.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Well, as we all know, I cannot take a compliment.
But you can take a cock. T-shirt available in the T-shirt store. I'm going to tell you the worst one first.
The worst one.
The worst compliment that I get a lot is that people say that, "Hey, you're a lucky guy for being with Mrs. H," and I think that really
it's insulting. Isn't it?
I find it really like a real backhanded compliment. Like I have what I bring to the table adds nothing. And that I'm just purely lucky that she is with me, which ignores the amount of shit that that I put up with on a day-to-day basis, the amount of effort that I put in, and the years that we've put towards each other. So that does wind me up as a compliment. In terms of the best one, I think
you've had a lot of compliments.
I've had a lot of compliments. The one I kind of like is, or that sort of seems to follow me around. Hopefully, this is a good one, is that I smell very nice. And certainly when we did PCAP, a lot of people were very complimentary on my scent, which was cool. I really like that because it's like sometimes I think people find it difficult to compliment guys, and I think that feels like a nice one. It's like, hey, you've chosen something that's like a good scent and it suits you, and that like so you've had a hand in it,
and you've kind of gone through it, but it's not like a, hey, you look X, Y, Z. So it's something that I've chosen, not something that I'm born with, like my looks or something.
Just going around spraying like a mountain lion.
You do smell very nice.
Thank you.
Ah, yeah, you do.
Yay. And if you'd like to smell me, right into bh134.
Or come to the event in September. It's
exactly.
going to be loads.
Smell him for yourself.
There we go.
Smell him for yourself.
Yes. So, okay, compliments. Now, Mr. H would probably argue that I get a lot of compliments because the point he makes about there being a vast imbalance in the force of, women getting lots of compliments in my lifestyle and men not. I would agree with that assessment.
Yeah.
I think women are probably showered with compliments regularly,
Yeah.
rightly or wrongly. And a lot of them are very generic in like, oh, you got great tits. Yeah. And you do expect to hear that kind of thing, I think, anyway, because you just, I don't know, you just get used to it a little bit, don't you? When
you do.
Complacency.
A little. But I think, weirdly, some of the nicest compliments I've had have been the ones I wasn't expecting. And because I am very cognizant of the fact that I can be intolerant and a bit difficult to get to know sometimes, and people don't always know what I'm thinking, or actually they probably do, they just look at my face, but they don't always know how I feel about them. It's really nice when someone gets under my skin a little bit in a good way and into my head and actually sees through that and finds the real me. And they will then tell me, actually, you're very different to what I was expecting, and you're actually really nice. So in as much as it's like it's a bit of a double-handed one, because I'm like, yeah, I must be a right old intolerant witch if that's my initial demeanour. But it's also nice that sometimes the real me is not lost on people. And it's nice when people notice that and they're like, oh, actually, you're not such a twat. You're actually quite nice. And I'm like, oh, yeah, thanks. It's nice to know that people don't always just get put off by me. That makes sense.
I don't think people do. I think my favourite compliment that you got was that chap that came up to you and poured his heart out on behalf of him and his other half, and was like, I don't normally do this. I'm so scared to talk to people normally. I'm really introverted.
You're really beautiful.
And I've really, pushed myself out here. And I wanted to tell you how amazing you both are, but especially you, Mrs. H, how beautiful you are and how wonderful your eyes are and your hair is fantastic. And this real sort of pouring out of the heart where someone had really, really pushed themselves out to kind of, you could tell that they were so nervous and so
nervous of me
of
and my
you, but also
my
of rejection and all this sort of stuff. And they were like, so, would you like to, sort of catch up with us at some point? And Mrs. H kind of turns to the person and looks up at him and basically goes, you're really tall, aren't you? And I just I felt so bad. I was like, I am so sorry about my wife.
I didn't know what to say.
I was like,
I didn't know how to take the compliment.
But
this is how that was born. I didn't know what to do with that information, because I was like, huh? He's talking about me? But I moan about how I'm not any of those things on a regular basis. And I'm like, are you sure? Oh man, you're really tall. So I literally don't know how to take a compliment sometimes, because I don't think it's not genuine. I just don't quite understand what I've done to deserve it, because I don't feel that a lot of the time. So not because
especially if it's a different perception of yourself.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So I'm always a bit baffled sometimes when I get the compliment. I'm like, oh, cool. I don't know what to say to that. Thank you, maybe.
I think there is a difference between.
Thank you very much.
There's an odd difference between compliments that are about your features and the way you look, and also things that you've done. So your style, your clothes, your whatever it might be. And often it's far easier to accept if someone says, that is a lovely handbag, or that's a lovely pair of shoes, or I love the way your hair's done. These are things that you can influence.
Yeah.
But when someone compliments you on something that is to do with your body, your smile, your
personality,
cold dead eyes that look like a serial killer, these are things that you can't influence, and sometimes they're harder to take as an actual thing. I know that the Casual Swingers did a recent episode about this and talked about it at length about how actually this was all quite, it's quite difficult to take these things to do with your body because you can't physically change much of that. Sure, you can lose weight or you can put on weight or you can tone up and all this sort of stuff, but your body is kind of your body in a way.
Yeah, and sometimes you just got features that you can't change, or you shouldn't change. But I mean, weirdly, I had a compliment only today on, I think it was my dress or my bag or something. It was something like an object, and I found it very easy to go, "Oh, thanks." Yeah, and that was great. It was great because it was something that I'd chosen to wear, and I knew it looked nice, and that's why I chose to wear it. So I was very happy when someone complimented me on it because I'm like, well, that's really easy. Whereas when someone says, "Oh my God, you've got beautiful eyes," I'm like, have I? Is this a trick?
Thank you, I made them myself.
Yes.
And it's almost like, oh, what do I do with that?
You go,
you can say
thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Really appreciate
that. Yeah, that's really kind of you. Thank you very much.
I do need to get better at that, but it's the compliment thing.
Would you like to buy them? They're available in my shop.
But you can take the cocks and Mr. H can take the compliment, seeing as he won't take the cocks.
This is true.
He does take a compliment very well.
So there you go. It's a match made in heaven, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we are a match made in heaven.
Definitely.
If you could take me on a date, where would we go?
Oh. All right. Do you mean...
And it can't be where we've already been.
All right. Do you mean both of you?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Are we going to the same place?
No, we're not going to the same place. We can't take
going on different dates.
Well, do we need to confer, do we?
No.
So I would suggest that we go...
Bowling. You bloody love bowling.
I fucking hate bowling.
I thought that.
Absolutely not bowling.
Right.
I would like to go somewhere fun that's a little bit different and a bit quirky. Like, I don't know, Cahoots in London. Or... No?
That's
cool?
A great one.
Somewhere cool that's like the underground sort of World War II bar where it's all kind of
nice.
fancy, which is cool. And you can pick different cocktails. I kind of like an activity while you're sort of, if you're doing like a daytime sort of early evening thing. So maybe something where, I don't know, a cocktail making class or something like that would be cool.
Oh.
Yeah. I also particularly like the Cauldron, the Harry Potter bar.
Yeah, that's good.
It's
fun.
kind of a mix of that sort of. It all seems to be very drinking based, but it's me. So
I say lots of alcohol and not so much cheese this time.
Perhaps less cheese and meat. But then it's nice to sit down and pick at food and sort of chew the fat a bit. I like a combo of doing something, whether it's making cocktails and an escape room or something like that, along with the opportunity to sit down and just relax and just kind of find out more about people. So that would be my recommendation. You dear?
That's great.
Is that great?
Yeah. Although cocktail making, having heard their story about how all the rum led to an accidental DP day.
Accidental DVD day.
DVD day. DP day.
We haven't had accidental DVP.
Oh, we did. Like that was a precursor to the DP.
Yeah, you win. I'm out.
That's 6 bottles of rum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely at least 6 or 7 litres. At least.
All right. I'm gonna go. And I love the idea of what Miss Rachel said about all the stuff with the cocktails and the little speakeasy bars. And that's absolutely my go-to as well, generally. But because I feel like I need to do something different, which I do, I'm going to say, and I haven't done this for a long time, and I actually quite miss them. And I don't think you like them. So you might just have to tolerate the date. He's looking really confused now. I haven't been on like a nice little sort of spa day type thing for
that would be amazing.
A long time because bloody COVID, but they can be really good fun. And I don't mean ones with like treatments and massages thrown in because that's like a very personal thing, but just the going around a nice hot tub spa type thing and just chilling out with a towel and a glass of bubbly and just chatting and like having a nice environment, all nice and relaxed with people bringing you nice little bits of food to nibble on now and then getting back in a nice pool. I just really like that idea. And whilst we've had an extension of that kind of thing by going to lifestyle friendly resorts, it much greater capacity. That's obviously not a date, that's a holiday. So I think it'd be nice to experience like an intimate little sort of spa day kind of thing, where you just sit around, have little glasses of bubbly and chat and go in hot tubs.
Sounds delightful.
And experience showers and all that stuff.
That sounds amazing.
And then maybe go in the mud room.
The mud room.
And like cover everyone in mud. Wow, imagine that. That's great.
Yeah, like a Turkish bath.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. And then a steam room. Oh, I'm getting all like,
Use the gym, that'd be great.
Gym, fuck off. You can go to the gym. I'm going to cover Mabel in mud.
Yeah, I'll have a mud fight with you, but I'm not going to the gym.
Oh, we don't have to fight. We can just rub mud around.
I'll do that. Well, when are we going? I mean,
I know, right?
I think she's just booked it now.
Need to go to one of these.
Leave the boys at home. We're on a girls' trip.
I think she's already gone on the phone and booked it now. It's quite frightening.
Excellent.
So I want to say a massive thank you for coming on the first Flip Us Off. There have been some fantastic questions, mostly from me, of course.
I feel
but also yours were good as well.
You steal some of my questions, though, to be fair.
Yeah. To be fair, with 40, there was every chance we were going to have some of those.
Going to nick some of them. Yeah. So what I want to know is, if people want to find you out in the world, where do they go? Where do they find you? How can they get in touch?
So we're generally somewhere around the bed hoppers. On Twitter, we're Max and Mabel 1, I believe. And on Fab, we are Max and Mabel.
Fantastic. Well, folks, send them a barrage of messages. They are delightful. I'm assuming they don't want any cock pics.
No, I'm pretty bored. Unless it's got a little outfit on, or, if it's something funny, then go for it. But otherwise, I'm good.
Well,
a sombrero and a little mustache, maybe.
Someone will do that. There's a high chance of someone doing that.
I can't wait to see what your first one is now.
I will feed it back.
You're messaging me tomorrow and go, you'll never guess I've had a cockpit with something wearing a sombrero.
So thank you very much for joining us today. Do say goodbye to your delightful other half for us. And
he's gone on the child taxi duty.
Hopefully he'll return safely. That's the main thing.
With or without the children, I don't actually mind.
And of course, we will see you along with a bunch of other amazing people
in
September.
You absolutely will. And we cannot wait to see everyone again.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Mrs. H, do you want to do your thing?
Well, thank you for hopping into our bed.